these up, and we could for editing.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you
Really
for having
happy
us.
you guys took the opportunity. When you sent me that message, it was the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about this because even when we were talking over this weekend, which actually let's do an intro real quick on you guys.
Sure.
But Austin, right?
Yep. Austin and Elizabeth Clark.
Yeah.
Yep.
We own North Country Restorations up in Sheffield, Vermont.
Yeah, and we talking about yesterday because you guys came here for the full experience, so it's been fun.
Yeah.
We spent some time together yesterday, got to know each other a lot more, but this is not the first time we've met. We've known each other for quite a while now, and we talked about Levi. It was 2016 when I met him in person.
Yep.
We kind of knew of each other a little bit before that, but never really interacted, and even our interaction was short. But that was still the same year that we met.
Same
at
year,
SEMA.
yeah. Yep.
And was it before that too? Any chance?
So we interacted on Instagram a lot. You and
Yeah.
I would just kind of comment on each other's posts.
Yep.
And then, we've been going to SEMA since 2008. But 2016 was the first year we actually got to meet each other in person.
Yeah. And that was that time period where we started when we had Refinish Porn. We started at 2014, and so that was that wild west time period of Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was the beginning stages of these communities starting to come together and build up. So you got to see the real beginning of that.
Yeah. It's like you were saying, there was no algorithm back then. So
No.
I think that's how we kind of all got to follow each other.
Yeah.
Had you started now, I don't know if we'd know half of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
It really opened our eyes up to how kind of tight-knit of a community our industry is.
Yeah.
We're all over the country, but there's really not a ton of us doing exactly kind of like what we do. You know?
Yeah, and it was, and I wonder how that would be nowadays, versus with the algorithm and all that stuff, because there's definitely clear differences that I know for a fact. Certain things were easier to do back then. And now it's even our rebrand. It's we couldn't have that last word of the word porn in there. And how much that was getting flagged on our accounts and everything. Back then it was nobody cared. As soon as we changed that name, Instagram pulled the name, made it nobody could take that name. They just eliminated it.
Yeah.
And
you can't even have gun.
Yeah.
Or a picture of a spray gun. It's it's not a weapon.
Yeah.
It's what we use as a tool.
Yeah. But I wonder, the difference of back then, and building the community, and we had a lot more. There was a certain amount of traction that we saw back then, and you guys are currently doing, you're going through that now as you guys build a YouTube page and everything like that. Which we'll go over the YouTube stuff a little bit later, but those earlier days like that. I mean, I don't know, how involved were you on the Instagram stuff at the time period?
I had my own, and then Austin did everything for Austin's Auto Works at the time.
Yeah. So at that time we were living in Connecticut, and we had our shop, Austin's Auto Works, and I did all the social media for that and any of the marketing, which we didn't really market. We had our own website, and social media was a little bit of a help when that came around, but I always just kind of worked off word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were starting the social media stuff, was it was it weird to you? Was it
Very
refreshing?
Well, we didn't have any personal at the time.
We never had Facebook or anything. So it was a friend of mine that kind of pushed me into getting Instagram. He's like, no, you gotta see what other people are doing and post your work and show it off, I was like, I don't know. I'm just kind of doing my thing. I didn't think it really mattered. And now, if you don't have social media involved with your business, you're behind. You better have a good Instagram page.
Yeah.
You should be doing YouTube videos. As weird as it seems, but it's kind of an important part of your business.
Yeah, I think, and that's a weird, there's a dynamic there where people also, you got to experience having the business before the social media.
Right.
So you built all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like now jumping into having the social media first and then building the business. And like we're going to get to see how that plays out for people, because at least my experiences with the younger generation is like they'll focus on the wrong thing. And it's like, well, you haven't even built the skill set yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're focusing on the social media side of it, which is, you know, we'll see how that really plays out. But then I worry that the talent might, you know, wherever your mind is focused at, you'll gain the talent there, but you might lose it there if the automotive side is the thing you really enjoy.
Right.
You know, I just hope that doesn't stunt people's growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They're doing it for the right reasons or not.
Yeah. But that's kind of a little bit of the Instagram stuff. I just found that interesting.
Well, it's cool because it's our history of how we met each other.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the history of a lot of people that, you know, that's one story for both of us. You know, we've known multiple people throughout, you know, all this stuff, and that we might have never known before.
Right.
Any of this.
100%.
Right.
So that's a huge advantage right there.
It is.
You know, you can reach out to me or Rob Paddock or whoever it is.
I was going to say he was one of the early ones. And
yeah.
Yep. I got to meet him at SEMA, I think that same year, 2016.
Yeah.
And it just sparks these little relationships. Like, I remember one time we were doing a Corvette and I had just reached out to you on a direct message asking about materials or something. And it's just nice to have someone to bounce those ideas off of.
Yeah. And you would have never had that before.
Right.
It would have just been you. I mean, you said you already have a small town.
Yeah.
So who are you going to go to?
Nobody.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's such a big advantage. But kind of let's go further. I still enjoy, like, going to the earlier days of people, how they started.
Yeah.
You know, that way when the people that are listening, they hear your story and they realize that there's a backing behind it, you know, and how that all started. So, like, I mean, where is the beginning in this automotive side of things?
Oh, man. I guess you could go all the way back to, like,
When a young guy.
3-year-old little Austin.
Did you just call him old?
No, never.
My father is a machinist and an engine builder, mainly like a race car engine builder, and he was into circle track racing when I was just a baby. He raced SK modifieds on asphalt, and he also builds a ton of FE motors, like what's in your truck.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's probably assembled more of those than anyone in the country.
That's
and
crazy.
I could honestly say that with confidence.
Wow.
Like, they do a lot of FEs.
So he's a believer in it.
Yeah.
So I'm not crazy for wanting to keep that engine.
No,
in there.
you're not.
Okay.
You're not. Yeah. So I've always been around it since I was a kid. You know, I remember when I was like 5-6 years old, he had a 34 Ford pickup. It was a little hot rod, you know. And I would run away and cry when he fired it up because it scared me. You know, it was loud.
Know that.
Yeah. But then obviously learned to love it. So, yeah, that probably got in my blood, you know. And then I was always mechanically inclined, you know, growing up, always into doing something, out making a mess in his shop, you know,
but
causing
do you
trouble.
think that, like, kind of rubbed off on you because you were exposed to it at such a young age?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, it was, and then I always loved, like, you know, racing go-karts and working on them and then making junk look pretty. So that's probably what kind of got me into wanting to restore cars. I would paint his lawn tractors and stuff. And then I never really liked school, which I think is kind of common with all of us. You know, I can't sit still and just read a book or write or be taught, you know, English. I don't care.
You have a different ADD.
So I knew right away, like, my father went to a trade school and my grandfather went to a trade school, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's cool.
So made it through middle school and then was able to enroll in our state-run vocational high school that you could pick your trade in freshman year, and then you take that all through high school. So I chose auto body. It intrigued me. I liked the repairing side of things. And our teacher, you know, it was a collision repair facility, but he was into, hot rods and toys.
Yeah.
So, like, the first car I worked on was a 63 Ford Galaxy convertible. So, like, learning to block sand a car, why not do a 22-foot-long car,
Yeah. At least it's got relatively flat panels and long lines on
exactly.
it.
So, I really took an interest in the paint side of things. Mm-hmm. And he was a great instructor. We're still friends till this day. And he would see what a student was interested in, and he would lean on that.
Yeah.
So that was a huge help, having someone that actually cared and wanted to hone your skill set.
Yeah.
He was a really good mentor in life in general with everyone, teaching you how to be a respectful person and how to treat a customer, because the cars we were working on in the shop class, those were like customers' cars. So we would interact with the customer as well as work on the vehicle. And then he would teach, theory. We had a little bit of like classroom stuff too. Yeah. So he was really good at always keeping up with the technology. At that time, we're talking back, the year was 2000. So a lot was changing in our industry.
A lot has changed from here to 2000.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, he was really good about that. Like, I remember, and again, if you were a good student and you cared, he really wanted to see you grow. So when Chief came out with their new laser measuring system for their frame machines, he spent the weekend and he took me to the Chief training facility and we did the class together.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then I don't know, have you ever heard of Skills USA?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that was around. So that was usually like seniors were doing that. But it was my junior year, and it was coming up to that, like, competition. And he's like, you could go do this, and you'll win. And I was like, you sure? Like, should I waste my time? He's like, no, do it, So we went, and I beat all the seniors. And I finished it first in our state, and we got to move on to the nationals, go out to Kansas City and everything. And that was a really cool experience, too. So,
that Skills, I've asked this a few people because we've had a couple people who are part of Skills. Was your Skills, did you ever get exposed to the other aspects, like culinary or anything like that?
We did. So our trade school was, there was a lot of trades in it. And our freshman year, you actually had to take each trade for, I think it was like a week.
Yeah.
So you could try them all, and maybe your mind would change. Like, I went to school with the intentions of being a carpenter.
Yeah.
I also did a lot of that growing up with my grandfather. And but because I was able to try everything out, my eyes were opened up more to the auto body side of things, and I really liked that. But so we did have culinary in our school. We got to do that. We had drafting, we had graphic design, cosmetology, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, electronics, automotive. There was a lot of trades.
Yeah, that's like really helpful because like even me being in Skills and being exposed to just the body side, like I got to be with some of my friends that were in the culinary program or these other things, and kind of see that and kind of be like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah,
like I didn't know you guys were doing all this stuff here.
Right.
Like, not to say that might, who knows, I'm sure that could change someone's trajectory, but like just seeing the other stuff was nice. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and you still do carpentry. You're still into carpentry.
Yeah,
on the side.
That's kind of one of those things and it's funny, my instructor in high school said that too. He's like, what we do here, it kind of relates to almost anything.
Yeah.
Once you kind of have a skill set and the mindset of like, I could work on this, I could take this apart and figure it out. He's like, you can do stuff around your house.
Yeah.
You can do plumbing. You can do electrical. I actually spent one summer with him working on his house. He had an old house from the 1900s, and we were in the basement with like 24 screw jacks, jacking up all the floor joists and getting the floor all level. And then we ripped the deck off his house and built a new deck on it. And, that was like helpful too. And just like learning, like you can do all this stuff. Yeah. You're not set. And being in that trade school, you get all these friends that are now coming out of these trades, and you have this network of people in your life to lean on later on, you know? So like my brother-in-law went there. He runs a HVAC company now. I have a really close friend, Joe. He's a carpenter, you know, and like a lot of people that graduated out of my school, we all own our own businesses now.
That's cool.
And we were all like, we hit the ground running out of high school. We see these other friends that went to traditional high school, and they're $70,000, $80,000 in debt going into college, and we're making that in a year at 19 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's and it makes you wonder why they're getting rid of that stuff.
I know.
Yeah, they changed things at the school you
They
went
did.
to.
Yeah. It's sad. Now they're pushing college more, and they're changing the students coming in. You used to have to actually like want to be there and apply and know what you want to do and have good grades to get in.
Yeah.
Now it's more like they're taking in like kind of anybody because they're molding them to want to go to college and not focus on the trade as much.
See, I'm noticing that throughout the industry of like, I said this in our SEMA follow-up podcast, like we're seeing people go into positions that are in our industry who are unrelated to our industry.
Right.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, how does that work?
That includes instructors. Like you're telling me you had that instructor, and I'm like, man, we need more of that. Is an instructor who's into it, who wants to push those things out there, because what tends to happen a lot too is you have an instructor who is not interested, who is like probably burnout in their own life. And so they have nothing else to like continue to push in that thing. And then people wonder, why did these programs just like fizzle out? It's because the instructors that are going into them, they're not producing results.
Right.
So if you're not producing the results for the school, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to get the money for that program.
Right.
You're not pushing for more on these things. And like, you know, we need more of that.
Absolutely. We were talking about it the other night. There's just any shop in the country right now you could walk into and get a job.
Yeah.
We all need help. And it's just not out there.
Yeah. And a lot of it starts from that very beginning stage like that. And it's like, how do you get people to be into it? To me, it's like, I think that the custom automotive side is what draws people into it. A lot of people start off in collision, and then they're like, oh, yeah, I'll include that in my business, or maybe I'll find a way to divert into that, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a good transition into how I left school.
Yeah, yeah.
So my instructor, again, great guy, knew all the shops in the area because he would always try to send kids to these shops to get jobs. So he helped me get my first job. I was a junior in high school, so I was 16 years old. I think I just got my driver's license. And he knew where kids would fit in and what shops kind of did what. And he knew that I was more into the painting side of things. So there was a shop, Carland Auto Body, and they were like a pretty large collision repair shop in our area, like well known. Like you knew, like, oh, if your car got in an accident, yeah, you're going to go to Carland, you know. So they had a really nice paint shop there, two booths and a prep room, you know, and they had at that time 3 painters and a helper, and I think 6 or 7 body men feeding them. So it was a big facility.
Yeah.
But the owner, Artie, was a hot rod guy.
Okay.
So my teacher knew that. Like, I was interested in that stuff. So he knew he would probably work with me, you know. So, you know, big collision shop, but he always had something in the back that they were working on. So I went in there and was like, you know, a painter's helper and working with the guys. And within a year, one of the older gentlemen that was painting was able to kind of step back. I filled his position as like a full-time painter. And then he got to kind of more or less like manage the paint shop and organize and help things run smoothly. So that was great. And it was funny, we were having a meeting one day, and Artie was like, yeah, you know, we hired Austin and this other guy that was working there, and kind of threw a wrench in the works. You know, he was just supposed to be a lackey and help out, but now he's going to be a full-time painter and this, that, and the other thing. So that was funny. But I think I was only there for maybe a year, and he had approached me. He's like, "Hey, would you want to go on a trip with me? I'm going to go out to the Grand National Roadster Show." And I was like, "Yeah, of course," you know. And he's like, "Well, check with your parents, you know, make sure I could steal you for the weekend or whatever." And we were able to go out there, and man, he brought me around all over the place. We went to Boyd's shop, and I got to meet Boyd, and he showed us around the place. Artie was friends with this guy. They called him Itchy, Scratchy, Itchy, right?
Yeah.
he was a pinstriper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was at the time dating George Barris's daughter.
Is that the name for sure? Is it Itchy, you said, or
is
it Scratch?
Scratch, not.
Man, I can't remember.
Because I'm like,
I feel like it's Itchy, but I could be wrong.
I'm going through.
Well, Carl and I joked because
that's what I was gonna say. Carl
it might have been Scratch, but we were calling him Itchy.
That's probably why.
Yeah, I'm going through my pinstriper names here.
Yeah.
And I got a few of them in there, and I'm like, you're touching on one right now.
But yeah, he was dating Joji Barris.
Okay.
So we met up with him, and he just took us all around town, showing us all the stuff. And I spent the day with him, going to a couple different shops, and he was doing pinstriping jobs. And that was just an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Like to be, I think at the time I was maybe 17 or 18 years old.
That's cool.
And to see all that and see Boyd's shop and how they do things, and you know, pick up a little pinstriping. You know, he gave me a couple tips and stuff because I was always into the custom paint work.
Yeah.
You know, so like I thank Artie till this day for the opportunity that he gave me.
That's cool.
And I mean, we fixed. A customer came in. He had a 34 3-window coupe that he got in an accident with coming home from a car show. So we had to rebody the car. It was that bad. And so we did a fiberglass body on it, and he wanted it like traditional hot rod looking. It was like a dark metallic blue with your orange and yellow flames. And I did all that type of graphic work. So at 18, here I am in the shop late at night putting flames on this 34 Ford for this guy.
That's cool.
Nice flames.
And I pinstriped it and everything. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you guys know each other?
I tried it. No.
At that time, no. It was like a year later that we met.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I was still working at Carland when we were dating.
Yeah, we met and then just as friends, and then time went by.
No, we
a few
were
years, right?
We were dating when I worked at Carland.
But how old were you at that time? Because you were 18 when you did that.
I left there when I was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went to work for another collision repair shop. We parted ways just because kind of change in management and, you know, things change.
It goes. That's how life is.
No hard feelings. And I went to work for another shop that had a good opportunity. They were a little bit smaller, but they did a lot of production. And at that time, my skill set had gotten better. I was faster with the flat rate work and stuff. So I went in there and I told the boss, you know, asked if they needed help. And I had my little photo album of actual photos to show them the work I had done.
Do you still have that?
I do.
It's a long one.
Yeah. And I told them, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm coming from Carland, and I typically do like 100 to 120 hours a week, paint labor, you know. Yep. And he's like looking at me like, yeah, okay, kid, you know. And I was like, no, really. He's like, a lot of guys come in here and say that. I'm like, well, give me a shot, you know.
Yeah.
So they had one painter at that time, but they had 2 booths. So I guess it made sense to hire another painter. And I think it was like a week and a half or 2 weeks after working there, he comes up to me. He's like, you know, you did 119 hours last week. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I usually keep pretty busy, you know. I think 2 weeks later, I was the only painter now.
Oh, man.
Running 2 booths.
Yeah.
And I was there for like a year. They were great people. I still stay in touch with them too.
Yep.
That's cool.
And it just kind of, I always had something else I was doing on the side. You know, I was still always into some type of toy or maybe a little side job for a customer.
Yep.
You know, custom work, you know, not not stealing collision work from anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
But at that time, I think I was doing that 48 Ford pickup for Bruce.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
And in my dad's
Bruce.
3-car garage,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And she would come out and hang out with me until 1 o'clock in the morning. You know,
That's cool.
I'd
fall
go in
asleep
there
on the bench seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the bench seat even from?
Oh, I don't know. One of my old trucks
Yeah.
had a bench seat in there, like a couch.
Yeah.
You know, you could just hang out.
I'm like, we can't get rid of this. We have to keep it forever.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hours on this thing.
Yeah.
So I set up a little curtain in there with an exhaust fan out the wall so I could paint and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working on this truck for Bruce, and
The red one,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2 other little things in and out. And it just got to the point where I was like, I think I'd like to try this for myself
Mm-hmm.
and not work for somebody,
Yeah.
you know? So I rented a little industrial condo.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like maybe 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Built my own booth in there because I didn't have money to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad actually helped me. He's a
Yep.
carpenter. Gave me a hand doing that. And my dad was kind enough to go buy me a Ingersoll Rand air compressor. Helped me
Pops.
get started. And I cleaned the place up, painted the floors, painted the walls,
Mm-hmm.
put a
Yep.
little desk in the office. And so I did that for a couple months. Like I did that at night and was still working at the other shop.
Yeah.
And I talked to my boss and I'm like, hey, I really feel awful coming to you with this, but I think I want to leave and just try to go do this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew what I was doing because I had an account set up with our paint supplier
Yeah.
at the shop. And some weeks my material order would be bigger than theirs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But he was super supportive.
That's cool.
He's like, you let me know whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
If you need anything,
Yep.
help through the process of getting your repair license, you know, I'm here for you. So
Yep.
that was really nice to have that kind of support going off
Yep.
on your own.
People don't realize how important that part is. I mean, there's obviously sometimes this doesn't go well for certain people, right? Whatever the situation is. But if something were to go wrong for you, you know that they would take you back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And that would help
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Not to say that that would happen, but because how he handled that, you have a good relationship that will always, like, if something always comes up, you can always fall back, you know, for help and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
vice versa,
Yeah.
you know.
For sure. And it's funny, years later, when which we'll touch on, but we added on a Line-X truck bed liner franchise to our shop.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing all the spray and truck bed liner work for them. If they'd get
Yeah.
a truck come in and they had to
Uh-huh.
do a bedside on it or something,
Yep.
they just send it up to us and we take care of it for them. So,
That's perfect.
you know,
Yeah.
it's always good in life to keep relationships and don't burn bridges.
Yeah.
No matter how things end for you, there's no reason for it to go bad.
Yeah.
You know, you could always end on a good note.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all part of your network later on in life. You
Yeah.
know, there's enough work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We can all get along and share it.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Yeah. So this is we're at the beginning stage of Austin Auto Works. Then.
Yep. So that
Yes.
was we started Austin's Auto Works, and I don't know if it was the best name to pick. I was telling you about that the other day. Like, do you want your name on your business or not? I mean, I guess to get me started, it was probably the best
Yeah.
thing I could have done
Mhm.
because everyone knew Austin, you know?
But then everyone wanted to talk to Austin.
Yeah, the
later
only bad
on.
thing
Yeah.
is later on when you get busy, you get people come in, oh, can I talk to Austin? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can help you.
Austin's not here.
Yeah.
You know, but in the beginning that was good. So I will say we were blessed to hit the ground running, and I was never slow from that day forward.
Man, that's awesome.
I never had a month or a week where I'm like, man, I don't know what's coming in next. What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
It was, let's bite off way more than we could chew and figure out how to chew it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we had some great customers along the way, and
Oh yeah. We
That-
still talk to a lot of them.
a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was in
family.
2008
Mm-hmm.
when we started that. Actually, it was in December of 2007.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, starting that.
officially full-time on my own
Yeah.
was April of 2008.
Wow.
And on the rat rod you were doing for Chuck. Chuck now has that rat rod,
So
and he's the one you rented from the first building.
The first shop I rented, that little 2,000 square foot, was from this guy Chuck. That we were in a big industrial condo, and he had a unit that he ran his excavation company out of, and he bought the unit next door as a rental income. So this guy didn't know me, never met him, saw an ad on Craigslist that there was a spot available for rent. Met with him. He must have saw something in me, that I would pay rent, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was like my biggest fan. He'd always come over and see what I was doing and stuff. But
still is.
What Elizabeth's saying is one of the last jobs we just finished up, little 36 Ford pickup, rat rod. It was for Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our
cool.
original landlord.
Yeah.
We remained friends. And that's kind of the story along the way of all our customers. They become part of your family.
Yeah.
Chuck comes up to our house in Vermont.
Yeah, Chuck
he
and
lives
Holly.
in Connecticut still, and him and his wife Holly come up and spend the weekend with us just to hang out. We're friends, and
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I was only in that unit, and again, I built these relationships for people or with people. I was in there for about a year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And we're bursting at the seams, I was working on 4 or 5 cars at a time.
Yeah.
I'd be pushing them outside during the day so I could work on one. I had enough room. I had a 2-post lift, the booth, and then I could fit a car in front of the booth. That was it. You could only really fit 3 in there. So 2 of the units down on the far end where we were, the company moved out, and a close friend of mine, Garth, which we're meeting for dinner tonight in Daytona, he had owned some properties in town and stuff, and he's like, hey, if I buy that, would you want to move over there and rent it from me? So I was like, well, let's go look at it. So we went over there and checked it out, and I'm like, man, this place, we took this wall down the middle and got rid of some of these offices. This would be a nice shop, 2 overhead doors in the front, 1 in the back. So I was like, yeah, well, what can we do it for? Can I afford this, So we made it work. So I approached Chuck, and I'm like, man, I feel awful. I feel like I'm going to leave you high and dry. And he's like, no, man, it's great. I want to see you move on, succeed. You'll still be right here next to us.
We're not going far. But
he's like, don't leave the plaza. Stay here with us, but you'll be there. And so we did that. And now we had I don't know, I think that was 4,300 square feet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're lighting the world fire now. I could fit 6 cars in here. And at that time I bought a booth. Now we got a real booth. We had a semi downdraft. It's we're big time now.
Yeah.
And yeah, just still busy. A lot of. At that time I did start off kind of with a mix. I did a little bit of collision repair, but I always had a couple builds going on. Nothing too crazy. Mostly paint jobs, on older cars, Mustangs, Camaros. Just kind of strip them down, paint them nice. I'd say it was a step above what most guys in our area were doing. No one really painted old cars. We all just had body shops. No one wanted to do that stuff, So when I moved over there, I was like, well, let's do, a little bit more collision repair just because now we have the space. And when I say we at this time, I'm just working by myself still. Yeah. It's just me.
Elizabeth, I wasn't involved in it at the time.
Elizabeth had a job. I didn't have any guys. Well, I will say my friend Luke.
Yeah.
He was been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
We met because we both had Fox body Mustangs when we were younger. So that's what brought us together. And he had got rid of his Fox body when I had just got my first shop, and he got a 99 Cobra. And it was from Florida, so it was just sun faded and shot, and he wanted to paint it. So he's like, would it be cool if I kind of gave you a hand taking the car apart and stuff? And we got along real well. And he was really mechanically inclined, so I'm like, yeah, of course, that'd be cool. So that kind of snowballed into him coming by every single night and helping me out at the shop.
Yeah.
So it'd be we'd work on his car and be like, well, what else do you need a hand with? So he was always around since the beginning as a part-time helper.
Yeah.
And then I was doing a little more collision repair, still painting old cars and stuff, and it got to the point where I probably could use another set of hands in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with customers. I'm trying to work on stuff. It's just there's only so much time in the day that you can get things done. I'm working till midnight every night because basically from 6 p.m. to midnight was the only time I wasn't bothered.
Mm-hmm.
The phone wasn't ringing. People weren't stopping in, you know. So across the way was another little shop, and there was this older guy helping out over there. And I was friends with the guy that owned that shop. And he's like, hey, you know, I'm not busy enough to keep Calvin busy all the time.
Calvin,
Would you want to take him? I was like, that's cool, you know. Mm-hmm. You don't have to fire him.
Yeah.
We're right across from each other.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I knew him already because we all got along.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, send him over. So Calvin worked with me full time for, 2 or 3 years?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And he grew up in the auto body industry. His father owned a big auto body shop. So he'd been around it his whole life. But he liked working on old stuff. So he didn't have to do any collision repair stuff. He was just helping with the older cars.
Yeah.
So he worked with me for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was in that shop until 2015. And I had hired another young kid, Mikey.
Yes, Mikey.
He came into our lives, and he was looking for some work. He knew a little bit about auto body stuff. He worked with a guy that restored cars. So he had some experience. And I was like, yeah, this might be a good fit, you know?
Now, in this time period, you just, like, where you were talking about, like, you were doing everything. Did it hit, like, did you have a moment where you were like, okay, this is not reasonable?
Oh, yeah,
like,
all the time.
These are all separate positions, and I need to, like, did you think of it like that? Or were you just like, the opportunity arise, and you were like, I need to do this now?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So it took my dad telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you realize you're wearing like 10 hats and they don't all fit.
Yeah.
You still wore those hats.
I did.
All throughout all the, yeah. Get to that point of talking about it.
Yeah. And I was always that way. Like, I'm very ambitious, and I'll do anything.
Yeah.
So when I did start hiring employees, that was hard because it's like, no, I'm not asking anyone to do something I wouldn't do or have done or still do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it did get to the point where it's like, not so much like I'm doing all these things and I need someone to do it for me. It was more or less, I want to keep doing more.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if I get some help in here, we can get more done, you know? So it was very hard because I always looked at an employee as if I'm hiring another one of me. That's not employees.
Yeah.
So, like, here I am with the mindset, like, well, I do everything. So if I get another guy in here like me, we can both do a lot of everything.
Mm-hmm. But the reality is, even though that's not saying anything bad about the people.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, you know, you being the business owner, I don't want to speak for all of it, but I will say for the most part, nobody's going to care as much as you do.
Absolutely.
Now, again, you can have people that you clearly had people that came in and they love, you know, being a part of it. You have a friendship. They don't want to let you down and all that stuff. But it's still, at the end of the day, there's an eye to it that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to be able to do all those things. It's just not reasonable.
No.
So now you have to delegate that stuff.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people end up in this exact spot right there. And some people never see it. And so then the growth always stays exactly where it's at. And that might be okay. Like, that might be all you want to do.
Right.
But then if you're beating your head on the wall, that's probably what the issue is.
Yeah.
You can't get outside of that.
And I guess I was lucky enough to just be blind to it,
Mm-hmm.
to where I took on these positions and learned how to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to run a business.
Uh-huh.
I was friendly, honest, and people trusted me.
Yeah.
So that's why it grew. I wasn't trying to be greedy or get one over on anyone. And I had understanding customers that, yeah, you are working by yourself. Obviously, this isn't going to be done next week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just wanted it done right. And I think they were kind of happy to see a younger guy with that drive to do what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was very supportive.
Very. Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, so I hired Mikey, and he had a good background in in body work, filler work, and also like finishing off paint, wet sanding, polishing. He could paint a little, but that wasn't his strong suit. He was really good at body work.
Yeah.
And right at that time when I hired him, I told him, like, well, you're coming on at a pretty good time because I just bought a building. We're moving out of this little condo complex.
We're expanding.
Yeah.
So probably the scariest move in my life at that point was we had in our town a Volkswagen dealership that had gone out of business. They were actually the first Volkswagen dealership in America. They're the first place to import a Volkswagen into the States.
Huh.
It was a really cool building they had, and it was kind of like out in the country.
Across from the cows.
Yeah.
That was the saying, right?
Their slogan was across from the cows, miles from the bull, because they were just a small family-owned business, And it was like, I think the shop was 20,000 square feet on 3 acres. Big paved parking lot, lots of room out back. And I'm like, man, imagine what we could do with this place. So it sat empty for about a year. And it just worked out that I was able to make it happen. And I knew I couldn't fill that whole building just by myself right away. And at that time, a friend of mine in the industrial condo, he's like, hey, I'm buying a Line-X franchise, and I'm looking for a place to put it. Do you know of anyone renting space? And I'm like, well,
yeah.
You do?
If you could wait, I have a closing on this building in about a month, and I could certainly rent you some space. And we got along, and he's like, well, he worked for Lewis Tree Service.
Okay.
He was like pretty high up. So the mechanic worked in the shop across from us, and he had the guy Steve had an office in there. So that's where he did like his office work out of, and the mechanic was in there. I'm like, well, I could rent you 2 spots. One for Lewis. He could work in there on the wood chippers and stuff. And then I could also give you a spot for Line-X. And then we'll be over here. And Line-X was all new to them. And it's similar enough to auto body that it's like, I could give you guys a hand, like showing you how to prep things and stuff and mask stuff off. That's not hard. So that kind of all fell into place. It was like the perfect storm, So we moved in there, and I set my part of the shop up. I kind of helped them set their part of the shop up. And it was just Mikey and I at that time. And now we're in this, like, the section we were in is like 9,000 square feet. We're like, dude, how cool is this, right? Built out a nice prep station that was like big, big exhaust fan, well lit. So we could do all our body work in there. We're not making dust all over the shop. Moved my booth over there. Got a lift. I mean, it was like awesome setup. And then beautiful office. I could put 2 cars in the showroom because it was a car dealership.
And we demoed before we even went in there.
Yeah. I went in, and my brother-in-law gave me a hand. We got a mini excavator, and we just demoed that place.
Wow.
They had like service department and offices and
just walls everywhere.
Yeah. We took 4 30-yard containers of just debris out of there and just opened the place up.
Did you find anything cool?
No.
Nothing.
No, we were hoping. We were looking.
Did we find a letter in the wall? Is that where we found?
We might have.
Yeah, something like that. But otherwise, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, nothing really cool in there.
There wasn't
No
like a
rare
beetle hiding in
Volkswagen.
the. No.
The downside to that place was there was contamination on the property. So that's why I was able to afford it. The price was good, but I did have to do some remediation work.
Yeah. Because
they used to wash the cars off that would come over coated in Cosmoline.
Yeah.
And
that's old shipping method there.
Yeah. And I guess kerosene takes that off really good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but how about we don't wash cars outside with kerosene?
Yeah.
And contaminate all the dirt. Yeah. So that was the downfall of that place, but it worked out. And I'd say within a year, Line-X wasn't providing the income I think the guy thought it would. And it's a lot of physical labor that I think he thought like, oh, I'll buy this and make a couple extra bucks and kick back and just collect the money. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen. So it was to the point where Mikey and I were helping them do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we'd come in an hour early in the morning and prep 3 trucks for them so they could spray it. And finally Steve approached me one day. He's like, you want to buy this from me? I was like, yeah, I think that'll be good. I'm probably jumping ahead a little because at that point I had hired on TJ.
Oh, yeah.
And we were doing a lot of truck stuff.
Okay.
Lift kits, wheels and tires. You know, we had the space now, and we had the clientele. We were right on the main road, so we got a lot of walk-in customers.
Is that when it's like number 1 for all the
well,
lift kits?
Yeah, we joked. We jokingly had like a McDonald's menu board in the office for Super Duties.
Yeah.
Do you want a number 1, a number 2?
Yeah.
Because it was like
always
so repetitive of, you know, we're in the Northeast, Rust. But like, man, the 99 to 07 Super Duty is so popular. We were putting rockers, cab corners on those things, doors. One week we had 5 of them lined up from one end to the other, and we're all doing rockers, cab corners, and doors on them. It was hilarious. And then that would spark, like, the guy would be like, well, while I'm doing that, I'm cleaning up my old truck. I want to lift it a little. Let's, you know, paint match the bumpers. Let's throw some wheels and tires on it. So we got in with some vendors to do, you know, carry some of that stuff. Yeah. So we were doing a lot of lift kits, wheels and tires. So when Steve approached me about Line-X, it's like, well, this is a no-brainer.
It complements
you know, we have the truck market already. So at that point, was that 2018? I think.
Yes, and then that's when I think then Luke came in. And
my friend Luke, that had been helping all along at nights, he worked for the town that we lived in. And his boss always joked, like, I know it's a matter of time till you leave to go with Austin.
Well, he would be at the new shop now all the time.
Yeah,
he's like our brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't you just come work for me? I need help in the office. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Because I'm doing office stuff. I'm writing estimates. We're doing a lot of collision repair at this time, too. So we would have 5 or 6 full-blown restorations going, a dozen trucks to Line-X and do wheels and tires on, and at least 10 cars a week for collision repair. So there's a lot going on.
What was the timeline on your days? Were you doing 12-hour days? Were you doing
my guys?
midnight?
Yeah, so my guys worked 8 to 5. If they wanted to work overtime, whatever they wanted, as much as they wanted. Yeah. And
they usually, honestly, they wanted to stay.
They wanted to stay. They didn't want to abandon the ship and leave me. They're like, are you staying tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'll be here. I'll stick around and give a hand. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, so we brought Luke on full-time to help in the office. We hired Nick.
Yep.
He approached me he went to like a 1-year trade college. So he shows up one day by himself.
Drops off his resume.
Little
very quiet.
18-year-old Nick asks if I could show him around the shop. So I show him around. And I'm like, well, what would you think about doing some Line-X work? We'll get you started in that and teach you how to do that type of stuff. And then we could have you do a little bit in the shop, too, if you're interested. You know, because he was interested in the older cars and stuff. So we hired him. He was a huge help to Line-X because I was doing all that, too. After we bought it from Steve, my guys would stay late and help me prep 3 or 4 trucks, and then I'd just spray them all. So we were doing 3 or 4 trucks every day. Yeah. And so Nick, I trained him how to spray.
Yeah, so he basically took over Line-X part of it in the shop.
So Luke was helping, and then he kind of moved on to become an insurance adjuster because he would meet all these guys coming in the shop. And we kind of both agreed it was time to go our separate ways. And he understood I wanted to bring Elizabeth on full time, you know. And he was ready to make a move. It was a lot. He was a little stressed, I think, and we were busy, and it was a lot to handle. So that's when Elizabeth started.
Yep.
And basically her and Nick just ran with Line-X.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'll do more of the estimating and dealing with the customers for the collision repair and the restoration. You focus on Line-X. You're Nick's boss now.
Mm-hmm.
They got along like two peas in a pod.
Yeah. He's like my little brother.
Yeah. So we took on fluid film undercoating
Yep.
as well, Northeast.
Okay. Yeah.
Got to protect your car from rusting in the winter.
It's a no-brainer.
So we're doing Line-X and fluid film over on like a far corner of the shop. Again, we had a lot of space, so we were able to kind of keep these departments separate.
Mm-hmm.
I had taken another area of the shop and made that kind of like our metal fab area. I could fit like 3 cars in there and all my metalworking equipment. So all the big heavy sheet metal work and stuff got done in there. Then we could bring things over to the body shop side.
Mm-hmm.
At this point where we moved Line-X to, we set that up with its own spray area. So now the main part of the shop, we had 3 booths.
Okay.
So we just, one was for body work, one was for priming,
Mm-hmm.
one was for painting. And that worked out great because you could keep your paint booth clean. But then if you had a huge job, there's times where I'd be painting a complete, like, full-blown, blown-apart restoration, and I'd fill up all 3 booths.
Yeah.
And just paint everything all at once.
Uh-huh.
That was the best.
Yeah.
So that was really good. We had a good system going. We had taken on Carl to help out as a painter for like the collision repair stuff. So now I could like step back. I was doing all the paint work.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't have to paint the collision repair stuff anymore.
Was that easy for you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So you knew Carl from previous.
But Carl
with him.
is the painter I replaced at Carland, my first job.
Yes.
Okay.
So it all kind of came back around.
Yeah.
We love him to death. He's like a close friend to us.
Yeah.
So
he's still around.
yeah. So Carland had unfortunately gone out of business.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Carl, I'm like, just come work for me. You know, he was kind of probably ready to retire, but I think it was a good opportunity for him to just kind of step back and not be as stressed out. So that position wasn't as hard to give up because I trusted him.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
That's good.
It's hard to hire a painter and trust him right away.
When you're the painter.
Right.
Yeah. It's.
And we used the same products too, so that helped. We were a BASF shop.
Yep.
So he was familiar with everything and how we did it. So that wasn't a problem there. Mikey really took a stride in doing the bodywork stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for him at times. Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah.
Because he'd be in that booth blocking body
I
filler
know.
for weeks on end.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
You know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I get it, man. You need a break. Let's work on this for a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
But he got really good at it and pretty efficient at it too.
Yeah.
So he'd do the majority of all the body work. I'd give him a hand a little bit here and there, and then we would have block parties after primer and get everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big help.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that time, what we have? TJ, Mikey, Carl,
Mm-hmm.
Nick.
Yep.
Kevin.
Yep. Oh yeah, and then
we hired
Frank. Is there Frank?
Frank,
Yep, I'm like Frank.
and then Vince
Yes.
as like a helper,
yeah,
float
Vince.
around the shop
Okay.
and help
Yeah.
with anything. He'd help Nick prep a truck, or he'd come over and help us clean a car that was getting delivered,
Yep.
wash a car, whatever.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty big crew going.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I want to. We'll take a break from
Yeah.
continuing that part, because we have something in common, and that's like, you guys are together, and now you're in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and so like Connie and I, same thing. She's been in the industry for a while, and so there's a dynamic there, that not a lot of people get. Most people in our industry, their significant other doesn't really have anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's caused a lot of trouble with like people because they don't really understand, when you were first dating, did you kind of get an idea of, what it was going to be like?
The first thing he did for me was paint my cobalt, the
emblems.
emblem,
Yeah.
paint it black.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, that's cool, you
Yeah.
know. And then, I could do like this little something. I'm like, okay. I just got used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad owned his own company. He was a carpenter.
Oh, and we totally glossed over.
Chevelle?
Yeah.
But yeah.
When I first had my shop, like in the very, very beginning, you know, we're dating, and her dad, he loved me, and we all got along. We'd always have dinner together and stuff, the three of us, and Colleen.
Yeah.
But he saw what I was doing with the old cars, and he had a Chevelle in high school. So now it's like sparking this, like, maybe I want an old car again, you know?
Yeah.
So he found a 72, I think, 71 or 72 Chevelle. And he's like, hey, you want to go with me to look at it? He's like, if I buy it, I want you to like build it, you know? I was like, yeah, sure. So that's what kind of where.
Yeah, he came in, and then I
Well,
was always around
you
it.
were really used to it at that point too, because
100%.
now her dad's working on his Chevelle in the garage. I'm working on stuff in my garage. She's around the whole time.
Yeah.
And just because he owned his own business, I was used to that. You put in the hours you put in.
Yeah.
There was no questioning it.
Uh-huh.
So I would go to my job before we worked together, and then at night, you know, depending on what he was doing, I'd hang out in the shop, or I'd go and bring him dinner if he was, you know. But I never thought that, you know, why is he working so much? I never got mad. It's just you do what you have to do, and I supported him through that.
Yeah.
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 And ever since, and then we just do it together.
Well, and then people questioned when, you know, like, oh, why are you gonna have Elizabeth come work for you? Like, can you guys really be together all day? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, who would be better to be in the office than my wife?
Yeah.
That
Who
is,
would you trust more?
yeah,
You know?
just as invested in this company as I am.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no one I want to talk to more at the end of the day than her.
Yeah. And we weren't side by side the entire time.
No,
You know, I'm in the office and he's in the back, you know,
I'd
working,
see her for
hopefully. You weren't in the office. I try to keep him out of the office.
sometimes I was in the office too, but she did their best.
Yeah.
But like, yes, there'd be days where we see each other for 10 minutes at lunchtime in passing. And you know, that was it. So at the end of the day, it's not like you're like have the same story to tell what happened. I'd be like, oh yeah, in the back today we were doing this, and she'd be like, oh yeah, you couldn't believe the customers that came in here today, and like
it didn't get boring or anything. You still had your stories, and but no, it's nice working together.
Yeah.
100%.
yeah.
Yeah. But
See, and I only, you know, one of the things I bring up with this is like there's a lot of people that I don't know if you've known anybody. I know plenty of people who like, you know, their significant other doesn't really understand this stuff. And so those late nights, you know, whatever that is, like, there's a lot of conflict that happens there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like you're saying, you're like, well, he's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He's
working.
Yeah. I think that there should be a light at the end of the tunnel still.
Yeah.
You know, like, that shouldn't be for the rest of your life like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you should build the business in a way to where you can do this reasonably. But like, have you ever ran in that with people, like, you know, where there's like conflicts and people don't understand, like?
Oh yeah, and I think they would also try to get me to feel a negative way towards him because they didn't understand how I didn't mind.
Yeah.
You know, well, why don't you care? Why are you letting him work all the hours? Shouldn't he be home? Okay, yeah, he comes home. What's he gonna do? Sit down and watch TV at the time?
Yeah.
You know. I think because we had the same goal, I saw that, you're working all the hours now, so we can be where we are at this point in our lives right now. So that's why we're here.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's so important to, like, keep in mind for people. Because I personally know people right now where that's happening. And, like, it's sad to see that because, like, the intention that you have to stay late and do that is for the purpose of us having a good future. And when when that other person is like having a hard time or can't see that, you're making it way more difficult than what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, sure, maybe there's some needs that you need to have, and you guys should probably hash that out.
the communication thing comes in.
Yeah, 100%.
Communicate. So if there's any issues, okay, we're open books to each other.
Well, and I
think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
That was probably part of our success in business too, is we've always pushed communication as the most important thing in a relationship.
Yeah.
Not a her and I relationship, but a us and the customer relationship.
Yeah.
Us and our vendors relationship. Communicate everything. And then no one's left guessing, like, what's going on with my car? Why isn't it getting worked on? Or
I assumed. Don't assume.
Don't give people the opportunity to assume anything. Tell them what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Make them aware that they need to tell you what they're feeling.
Yeah.
That's success in life is just open communication with everyone. A lot of problems can be solved with that.
I can't remember where this quote's from, but it's like, unspoken expectations are tomorrow's resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the majority of our world is working like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I don't understand it. I'll see people, they're fighting or they talk negative about their husband, and I'm like, I don't know, I can't relate. And it's toxic.
Yeah.
And that's what they try to pull you in, and it's like, no, I don't feel that way. You're not, I don't get it. I don't know.
What you just brought up was the whole like other people trying to like, and maybe it's not that they're trying to do it. Not
intentionally.
It's just it's the thing they know how to do. It's the know. And let's take a quick break from this episode. I'm excited to say that this is a paid ad from our friends over at Dynabrade. Look, both their automotive refinish and detailing divisions have earned such a great reputation in our industry. From their U.S. factory in Buffalo, New York, they're creating the solutions we need in automotive tools, from metalwork, bodywork, working on clear coat, plastics. They have the tools that are extremely well made that cover the bases that we need as practitioners in automotive. Through their nationwide network of professional warehouses and jobbers, they can provide the equipment you need. Visit Dynabrade.com for more information today. It's like a lot of people fall into that trap, and it's like those aren't even your thoughts. You're just adopting the thoughts of this other person who's tricked you into thinking, and that person may not even know that what they're doing is really bad. Like you got to be really careful with those kinds of things. Like it will cause like a cancer in the relationship of a couple or friendship, partnership, whatever it is.
In the shop.
It only takes one person.
It only takes one,
unfortunately.
You end up with what I call the dark cloud.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the dark cloud takes over, and it starts to get bigger.
Yeah.
And other people end up underneath it.
Yep.
And that's a dangerous, dangerous thing to have to deal with.
Yeah.
100%.
But when you both are on the same page and you're communicating together and you have the common goal, and it's like none of these outside things are going to affect us because we know what we need.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And anything could be going on around us, and we have our path, and nothing's stopping us from moving that direction.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to stay positive. The world we're in now too.
Sometimes
can be
it's hard,
but it's like it can always, like I always say, it could always be worse.
Mm-hmm.
We're healthy, we're together, so whatever comes our way, we'll work through it, because it's not going to be easy, so.
Yeah, that's her answer to everything.
It is.
Yeah.
Like when I throw a set of Dakota Digital gauges in the fire pit because I thought the box was empty and I burn them.
He walked in to the kitchen. He's like, I have to tell you something. I thought somebody passed away because he was so devastated.
Kind of like.
I'm like, well, what happened? I got goosebumps thinking about it. He's like, and he told me. I'm like, oh, that. I'm like, we can replace them.
Yeah.
It sucks. They were perfect. You just, why did you do that? But, or I did it. We don't know who did it because we were throwing garbage
in the fire pit. We're like, we'll just burn some of these boxes.
The boxes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's like, well.
But she's really good at always.
It's replaceable,
Yeah.
She's really good at always keeping that positive, upbeat. And I'm sure you've seen it just spend this weekend with us.
Yeah.
She's always smiling.
Yep.
She's always happy.
Unless, I guess.
And that wears off on you in a good way.
100%. Absolutely, like the good attitude. Both things.
Yeah.
A bad attitude
and a good attitude. Yeah.
And a good attitude.
Yeah.
So you want to surround yourself more with that a good attitude.
Yeah, well, I don't do well with negative people. I mean, I just ignore it.
Yeah.
But I just be who I am. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you can think that way, and
yeah,
and you have to not let that get to you. You know, just still have the positive outlook. So.
Yeah, and it's a struggle because like it's easy to say that, but we all know like we'll say that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's podcasts, there's like all kinds of stuff you can listen to that it's like, oh, separate yourself from the negative mindset. Okay, you're gonna separate yourself all you want, and then you're gonna be left with your negative thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have to fight that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
every day. Everybody every day. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So none of this stuff's perfect. We're like,
nope.
No matter how good you think somebody else has it, they're also struggling through that too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you don't see that side.
And they probably know the same answer we have, and yet you still constantly struggle with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to always be working at it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just stay that way.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. So that's, I mean, it's always good, like refreshing, because like for us, like, again, you know, Connie and I do this stuff together, like, well, not together. I mean, here we do this together, but like we work at 2 different shops, and you know, she might work really late one night, I might work really late one night, and you know, we're just understanding. But you know, we see that with other people, and we're like, come on, like, it's all good,
right?
Yeah,
they're not doing it to avoid
them.
you.
Yeah,
they're doing it to help you.
I mean, there might be some situations where there's a little bit of avoidance. You know,
well, you still need your sanctuary to come out to sometimes, right?
Yeah, you still need your alone time. You don't need to be
Uh-huh.
together 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
And we
that.
do everything together, but we still have our routine of doing our stuff alone.
Yeah, like I'll go hiking, I'll go biking. He doesn't want to. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
I'll still do it and go. But
Mhm.
yeah, you still have your own things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then for you, now getting into the industry, like I shouldn't say now, but like being in the industry and like learning about all this stuff, like how's that been? What were you doing before this?
So right before this, I worked at a vet office.
Okay.
Yep, I love animals.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, I worked at an orthodontist.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a dental office, you know. So I love the vet. I probably I would have been there still if we didn't decide to make that change. But it was better for us, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I actually worked more hours at the shop, not at the vet, a lot more. But I enjoyed it, but it was a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to learn everything. I've been around it, the knowledge of everything, just from, you know, sitting in the garage for hours while he's working on stuff, just overhearing. But I didn't know enough.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions, a lot of going out to him. Just try not to bother him too much. But it's like, okay, I have my notes. I had to write everything down, and eventually just get it. Like Line X, that was easier for me. That I could, you know, I learned quickly. The restoration part, okay, yeah, I didn't deal with that too much. It was more of, okay, Austin, you got to call this person back.
Yep.
The collision repair and the insurance.
You got good at dealing with the insurance adjusters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
would come.
Yeah, the pictures and having to send over the information.
So one of the things that goes to my mind is like the jobs that you had before this.
Yep.
Is there anything in particular from those jobs that is currently helping you out with what you're doing now?
Oh yeah, I did reception in all of them.
Okay.
So I was always dealing with people.
Yeah.
Answering the phone. So basically I just moved that over, and it was just in a different area. So I was fine with that. But no, that I carried that through everything. Yeah.
And again, that smile at the front desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a great customer and a great friend now, David Prince.
Yes, David.
We restored, 5 frame-off different builds for him.
Okay.
He'll randomly call me, see how we're doing, and he'll always end the conversation. Tell Elizabeth I said hi. I miss that smile.
Yeah.
He's like, that would light up my day when I
Yeah.
walked in the room.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Nice of you to say.
Yeah.
You have to say it.
No. But, you know, that was a huge help having her in the front. You know, she's friendly. People were comfortable talking to her.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think because it's our business, probably the feeling I gave off was different too. Okay, yeah, she really cares. Like, what happened to your vehicle, you know? And I cared. I need to know all the information, not just like, okay, what happened, write it down and move on.
No, she really cared because she was pivotal in the shop of coming out and stressing to the guys like, no, like this person needs their car back on Friday. We have to get it done.
Yeah, can we make it work?
She really cared.
I'm not in the shop, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd stay late, you know, just for customer pickup and drop off too. You know, we understood like you work until 5.
Yeah.
Your car was just repaired. You're already in a bad situation, right? You're without your car and you're unhappy because you got in an accident. So we're already getting an unhappy customer walking in the door. Yeah. So we did everything we could to make the experience as easy as possible for them and keep them satisfied. So it's like, yeah, you work until 5. How are you going to get your car when the shop closes at 5? So we'd stay open till 6 or 7 or do anything we could, meet them on a weekend. I'd always be there on the weekends anyways. So I'd tell people, yeah, I'll be around. Just, you know, you come by and get it. Or we'd do after hours drop off or pick up. We'd leave the keys for them or something. But
the key drop. Make it easier.
And that's a lot of that came from what she did too with, you know, customer service. So she knew how to
that's why I said
schedule. And
when I got to the shop, I'm like, if somebody walks in, you're not sitting still. You stand up and greet them, you know. You walk in somewhere, you don't want to just have them sitting. So that always stuck with me.
Yeah.
Always stuck. And that was from the vet office, I believe, that they instilled that, like, if they walk in, you know, you stand up. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes a difference. Acknowledge them. If you're on the phone, just be like, you know, you know, just give a wave. Just look at them. Because you walk in a place, they don't look at you. They're working with other people. It makes a huge difference. Yep. I know for myself. Yep. And that's all it takes. Okay, yeah, I'll wait.
It's
as long as it takes.
Little things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a huge, bringing that dynamic into that, I'm sure that was like another game changer as you're building the business, and then seeing that side of it start to like come together.
Yeah.
That must have felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and relieve him from being in the office. He still did a lot of the paperwork and everything.
Yeah,
so I only could do so much, but I alleviated a lot.
At that point, she was basically running Line-X. I didn't have to do anything with that.
Yeah.
I was now stepping back from the shop more. I still loved working on cars, so you weren't going to keep me out of there.
Yeah.
But I was spending probably 4 hours of the beginning of my day in the office, you know, invoicing, ordering parts, writing estimates, you know, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I would try to be done with that by lunchtime. So then from lunchtime, I'd meet with the guys in the morning. We'd usually have like a morning get together of what needed to be accomplished that day. And then everyone could kind of go on their way. And they knew at any point in the day they could grab me if, you know, there was a question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd make it a point to, after lunch, I'd be in the shop the rest of the day. You know, and then, she'd come out with her notepad and be like, I have
write things down.
this, and this that you need to address.
So I remember. But no, it worked good, and I liked it. I liked the transition into working at the shop, and putting in the hours didn't bother me, you know. But when it's your own, like you said, there's a different feeling. Yeah. Yeah, and then I understood things too, like at the vet office, Dr. A would be like, where's all my pens? People would take the pens. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I get it. You know, where's my pens? You need to have them there. Why not fill them? That little thing to do as an employee. Yeah. Okay, I get it now. You know, you're not just, you know, doing that for nothing, saying that for nothing.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those, they seem like little things, but they will add up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
At the end of the week and then the month, it'll show itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I jumping too far if I say like, when did you guys sell the business?
We could get there. We're
substance and
we're real close to that point. So basically, at this point, it's like 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to keep somewhat more of a normal life schedule. Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, we're still working 14-hour days. Yeah. She worked 12. I mean, you were there at 7.
7.
You didn't leave until 7.
Yeah, depending on when people picked up. I was always there 100%, like 7:45 to 6.
Yeah.
And then I'd stay later or go in earlier. Just depends on the pickups and whatnot.
So, but we were, trying more to take weekends off.
Yeah.
I'd usually work a Saturday, like a half day, but it was like, all right, Sunday's our day. We need time away from the shop. We need to spend more time with each other, not just working, but enjoying each other's company and doing things.
Yeah, so we go for like a hike. And
And don't get me wrong, like we worked hard, but we still would take a vacation. We'd go to SEMA every year. I mean, we went to SEMA every single year from 2008 till 2019.
Yep.
We didn't miss a year. And all the guys were invited to come. And they usually took us up on it. So it was a great shop outing.
It's fun, yeah.
So we did have our playtime. But at that point, I was kind of getting burned out. I still loved working on cars, but I wasn't exactly like, do I want to transition now to just being a business owner and running this business? Because that's the writing on the wall. I can't be in the shop anymore. And that's not for me. Like I need to work with my hands.
Yeah.
I'll go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess, like the next thing was kind of getting burned out.
And
we bought a house in Vermont as like a getaway. We were like, we need something we could go to
on the weekends.
If we stayed in our town, you really weren't keeping me away from the shop.
Yeah,
No.
there was a gravity there.
Yeah.
It was sucking you in there.
So it's like, well, if we buy this place in Vermont, we could go there like Friday night after work and spend all day Saturday there, Sunday morning, drive back, and then we're back at work on Monday. But we've avoided the shop.
Yeah. It's a nice reset.
Really nice reset. We're out. We had 100 acres.
Yeah.
At our first place.
Our first property. So like we had our side by sides and
big field.
Yeah. So it was really nice. So that was like kind of a relief, but about a year went by and we're still slammed at the shop, and now it's like 2020 and we all know what happened then. And I had a customer that he had a little business doing like JDM cars and stuff. They restored them, and he had a YouTube channel, and we would do like a lot of his paint work, and we kind of got friendly. And one day he kind of like jokingly said, I should buy this place from you. And I was like,
maybe you should.
I would sell this place to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would I do? I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I guess you could say, are risk takers. And
I was the change.
Never afraid to just try something new. And that's kind of how we got our business to where it was. Yeah. So it's like I never really thought of selling it, but I was like, man, like, well, the only way I would sell it is all or nothing. And he's like, yeah, no, I'd take everything. So it's like, all right.
So yeah, that's Austin's Auto Works and Line X.
And Line X and the property. We own the property.
Yeah, and the property.
Yep.
So
and next door, the property.
I also owned a piece of land next door that I had bought to like maybe build a house on one day or something. Just kind of came up as like, it'd be stupid not to buy it. It abutted my property.
Yeah, so it's just everything.
So I was like, yeah, you get that too. Like, we'll do a package deal. So that kind of, we talked a little, kind of went back and forth, and like, it looked like that was going to happen. So we're like, all right, when do we tell the guys? This is hard. They're our family.
This is, hold on, time period again? Was this COVID?
2020.
So was this before it was?
Before it got bad. This was the summer before.
So it started in March, right?
Was it March or April?
March, yeah.
Because we got back from Detroit.
Okay.
And we're watching the news like.
What is going on? Yeah.
Should we like. What are we supposed to do? We just got on a plane with all these people.
Yeah, you're around all the.
Yeah.
You know, you're freaking out because nobody you knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I think COVID was calming down at that point. It might have been 21 when we sold.
21.
I tell you the truth, the last 5 years are a blur.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I get that in many aspects.
I can't tell you 1 year from the next. They all blend together.
Yeah.
But it was right around that time. I think
21.
It might have been 21.
Yeah.
So COVID was like still a thing, but it kind of calmed down.
Yes, because it didn't just happen.
Right.
Yeah, so that might be.
So, that also dramatically changed our business when that happened.
Yeah.
We were in the northwest corner of Connecticut, about 40 minutes from New York. So when COVID happened, it was 21 because we worked all through 20.
Yeah.
When that happened, we had a huge influx of the New York population move into our area.
Okay.
So our customer base was changing for like the collision repair stuff.
And getting busier.
But also not as personal anymore because it was like I never advertised. We're at this point we're 14 years into the business. I never advertised once, and we grew it to that.
Yeah.
So it's like it was all word of mouth. People just told their friends and family go to Austin's.
Yeah.
So when COVID happened, we start seeing all these like new faces, and they're a little more pushy. They're a little less friendly.
Well, the what is it? The hometown feeling, small hometown feeling, kind of lesson. Yeah, which we saw. They're great people, but it's just different, you know. So you have to adjust to
so
that.
That made it easier too to sell, So I guess.
Then we decided to do it and move forward with it. Yeah.
Took the opportunity. I told my guys, like, this is what's going to be happening. He's agreed to keep you all on.
Yeah.
You can stay working here. You have a job still. But a lot of them didn't want to stick around.
Yeah.
They were there. They were there because of us, know.
So then into
Line-X? So what happened, it was supposed to be an all or nothing sale. The day after our closing, Nick was like, I don't want to work for him anymore. Well, Nick was Line-X, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So I talked to the guy that bought it, and I was like, all right, here's the deal. We kind of have a transition of figuring out what we're going to do and where we're going to go. So the shop he was working out of was an industrial condo type place.
In the same town.
Town. So we basically just swapped shops. I was like, I'll take over your 5,000 square foot building. He had a lease. I'm like, hook me up with your landlord. I'll talk to him. I'll take that over. I'll move Line-X there. You continue with the purchase. I'll take the dollar amount from Line-X off the price. Because we did like a 1-year lease, and then he was going to come up with the amount to pay me.
Yeah.
He needed a little time. So I was like, well, I'll lease the building to you for a year while you come up with the funding, and it'll be a good transition. So we just moved Line-X into this 5,000 square foot shop that he was working out of, renovated that, like I do everything, made it how I wanted, redid the office, set the shop up, and we actually worked out of there, just her and I.
It ended up being, we're like, maybe a year, we'll see, What was it, 3?
Ended up being 3.
3 years, yeah. And that was easy. That I could, I'm like, why don't you just teach me what to do in the back, and then I can do it, Yeah. But I stayed up front, and I did everything up there, so he didn't have to have his hands in that end of it.
So that worked out really good because I could, when you get good at prepping stuff, I could pull a truck in, mask it up, sand it, spray it, unmask it, have it back outside in an hour and a half. So we did 3 to 4 trucks a day.
Depending, because our hours were like, okay, we're not going to, let's change our hours to be a little bit better.
We worked 9 to 3.
Yeah. It's like,
We worked 9 to 3, and we did 3 or 4 trucks a day.
Yeah.
You can drop off after hours, pick up after hours, and honestly, because like we said before, we stayed open later for Austin's Auto Works, but with this, people, they didn't care.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's fine, because it's just a Line-X bend liner. They don't need to go over everything.
Yeah.
And if you did, they picked up in the morning. They never griped about it.
No, and we did work for the dealers, so they just come and go when they want.
Yeah, all the local, dealers.
It's clockwork. It was just
easy.
Yeah.
And then so that place was 5,000 square feet. I only needed a quarter of that to do Line-X.
Yeah.
So here's Austin. over in the back, I got 3 projects going on, and I'm working on cars still. I'll never not do that.
Yeah, so after 3, he was still there.
Yeah, so, I'd do that until 3 o'clock. She'd, stick around for a little bit, do some paperwork, and go home.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'll be home for dinner, But I'd work on my stuff for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then that whole time, we were, like, deciding where exactly we wanted to live. We knew we didn't want to stay in Connecticut anymore in that area. And we had sold our house in Vermont when we sold our business as well.
Okay.
And quickly regretted that.
I guess we had a midlife crisis, you could say, and we're like, let's just get rid of everything.
Yeah.
Change our names, new identity.
So we're like, oh man, we miss Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like 2021, 2022.
Well, 3 years
later. What the housing market did. No, we were not 3 years later.
My apologies. Yeah, that's
and
true.
we're like, well,
we're still in it.
Maybe we could find another place. Not happening. Couldn't find what we wanted at the price that was affordable.
Yeah, so step back from that for a little bit.
I'm like, well, why don't I just build what we want? And let's just buy a piece of land. So I'm like, it's kind of a good opportunity. We have Line-X. We have some income.
Yeah.
But we have the freedom now and the time to kind of do what we want.
It's just us, so we don't have to worry about employees. You don't want to shut the shop down, and then there's no hours for them, so it worked out good.
So we bought a piece of land, and
we bought dirt.
Yeah, we bought dirt.
We bought dirt.
It had been logged selectively, so there's still woods, but, we're like, this is kind of like exactly what we wanted, where we wanted. So I designed a barn dominium. I drew up the blueprints and the layout for it, how I wanted it to be and everything. We knew we wanted a shop, and I wanted to restore cars still.
Shop is going to be bigger than the house.
Yeah, that's good move.
Yeah. I told him at one point, do you want to take it all? And then we can build a little cabin separate, But the barn dominium, it's cool. Yeah, we like it.
So we were able to still do Line-X, and now we got to the point where we didn't work Fridays anymore.
Okay.
We were just working Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, we have to make some time to build the house,
Yeah.
So.
So we were able to kind of leave Thursday after work, drive up there, and I could work on the property, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning.
It's like 4.5 hours away.
Yeah. And then we'd drive back and Monday morning do Line-X, and we did that for a full year. I built our house part-time over the course of a year.
Dang.
And got the land ready. We did everything ourselves pretty much.
I bought,
and with some help from family and friends.
I've always been around equipment and machinery and stuff. I had a skid steer already, a Bobcat skid steer. So I bought an excavator and did the dirt work, did the footings, and my father came up and helped a lot.
Yeah, he was up a lot.
Yeah, almost every weekend he'd
Yeah.
come up and give a hand. So
it's nice to spend time with him,
For
you
sure.
know, and that way, not just sitting in the house, you know, we're building something together.
Yeah.
And the three of us get along great.
Oh, yeah. We love Pops.
we bought a camper, which we bought anyways to travel in and do. So that's one thing I'll touch on quick. We did.
Oh, yeah, the van.
Spoil ourselves when we sold the business. We took our camper on a 5-week around the country road trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We knew, like, all this time we put in, all the time I didn't get to spend with her. It's like, I got to make up for that now. Like, she deserves this. And
I didn't expect that.
and we just, we had a blast.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and let's
we
go
actually,
here and
in typical car guy fashion, planned it around SEMA.
Yeah.
So we happened
Always.
to be in Vegas when SEMA was starting, and then
So
continued on from there. So that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That was a really cool experience. And then came back to keep working on the house. So we kind of stayed in our camper while we were building the house.
Yeah.
And that took, like I said, about a year to the point where we could move there now.
Well, yeah, because we didn't have water, we didn't have power.
It took a year to get power to the property. It's a quarter of a mile off the road. I started talking to the power company like right when we bought the land because I knew it was going to be a job to get it up there.
So, get the generator going.
Yeah.
And while we're up there, that's just what you do. It never seemed like, I don't know, I didn't get, not mad, I don't know how to
overwhelmed.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, yeah, we need water. We had a stream, so I'd go down there, pump the water into the, what is it,
a big IBC tote
to
fill the camper so you could shower.
And bring it up.
We weren't drinking it, but
and then put that in the camper and just keep redoing it. But in our eyes, we're lucky. We have a stream there to get water, you got to put work into it, but why not? And then power, and when we got water, you appreciate it.
Yeah, that's life. That's real life right there.
Yeah, and that's what I always say. Everyone should go through it so you really appreciate that you have a house, period, but power, and you have water, and you don't know where it comes from or what. You just have it. So whatever, But just learning everything, even just how to do a septic, I know how to do that now.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's like
I designed and dug our septic system and installed it. And
Great. So I get with you guys.
Yeah, we'll help you out
here.
in here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you definitely appreciate things more. But so we
So over the course of that, while we're building the house, I had a friend, Chris, that he was actually our salesman for our paint supplier through our company there, and we got along. He had been doing that for a couple of years, and they got bought out by a big corporate company or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I don't know if I could stay here. Like, I see how things are changing, and I don't like what they're doing with our pay because now it's like straight commission based. And he's like, I got a family to feed. And I was like, oh, dude, why don't you come give me a hand? Like, I'll show you how to do this, and then I could kind of spend a little more time up in Vermont. You could kind of do this. And I was like, here's the deal, though. Like, your job isn't guaranteed. We're going to sell this when our house is done. This is just kind of temporary. I'm like, why don't you buy it from me? What better way than to come work for me and get paid to learn? And then you could buy the business. And now you know the ins and outs of the business.
Yeah.
So he worked for us for 6 or 8 months. And it got to the point where I trained him enough I didn't even need to be doing LineX anymore. She was doing the office.
Yeah.
And then I'd stay in Vermont for like weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
I'd be like, I got to get stuff done. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Why do you need to come back? I can go back. I need to be there, but I'm like, you really don't need to. So before that, we were never apart more than, I don't know, a day or two since we met. And this year will be 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, stay. So he stayed for almost a month. I go up on
the weekends.
On the weekends, not every weekend, but I would go up. So then because I want to be there and help and whatnot. But and me and Chris just ran the shop, and it made it a good transition for when he.
That's awesome.
And Chris is super appreciative of the opportunity we gave him. He's a great person, and now it's him and his wife running that.
That's cool.
And they never worked together before, and they're killing it.
They are.
We helped him rebrand the company before we left. It's no longer LineX now; it's American Bedliners.
Yep.
And they spray Patriot because LineX changed a whole bunch of stuff with their franchise agreements and everything, and a lot of LineX is left because of that. But so it's great because now he's not under the thumb of that. It's his own business. He controls it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and
he's
he's doing good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, now that you guys are, is everything's done in Vermont.
As done as your house ever is.
Yes.
There's always something to do.
Enough that you can do things out of it. You can have life into it.
The shop is finished, so that was priority.
Working out of the shop now.
Yeah.
It took a little while. We lived there for about 6 months while we were still finishing the shop. The house was pretty much done. We had like a month of work to kind of we were able to move in and live in there, but we still kind of wrapped up a few things.
Yeah.
And then it took me about 6 months of living there to finish the shop off.
Yeah.
Again, a little OCD on wanting things a certain way, so I wasn't going to compromise and just start working.
That's the whole point of doing it, is so you could make it exactly what you want, you know? So you got to don't cut corners.
Right. And at this point, now this is my 4th shop that I've moved into, so like I kind of knew the layout and how things were going to be before I even built the building.
Yeah.
You know, especially for like, I knew this point moving forward, it's just going to be her and I. We're not going to have employees.
Yep.
So let's design the shop to be the most efficient for me to work in.
Yeah, each bay,
you know,
like designated.
So yeah, every part of the shop is kind of set up.
So what are you guys focusing on now? Is it, because I mean, you're down here for Mecum.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. We're down here selling my 62 Impala, and that's kind of the business model, is for me to be able to build cars how I want for ourselves and then sell them when they're done.
Yeah.
But also maybe have a job or two going on for a customer. So mainly just big full frame off restoration jobs.
Not collision repair.
No collision repair. All older car restoration work. But like the Chevelle for Nick's dad, I'm just going to get it running for him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind.
Nick was the one running Linex, so we're still,
yeah.
We're
so
all still there,
His dad has a 68 Chevelle he's been working on for a long, long time, and he just needs help getting it over the finish line. So something like that is a nice little fill-in, can kind of work on it. But mainly, just like 2 or 3 big restoration jobs a year is our goal.
Yeah, that's great.
Whether it's for a customer or for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's for ourselves, sell them at like the auction, like we're doing with Impala.
Or like bring a trailer.
Yep.
You know, I sold my Fox body on Bring a Trailer. I'm building this 69 F-250 right now that I'll probably try Bring a Trailer for that when it's done. Yeah.
So. That's awesome. And you guys are you just started a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting to know that side of things. Like,
it's a whole different
talk
animal.
about stepping out of your comfort zone.
Well, shout it out. Where can people find that
YouTube
channel?
So it's North Country Restorations on YouTube, and we have Neil Cove to thank for that. So he's our current customer. Yep. He has the YouTube channel Dig Drive DIY.
Okay.
And it was just kind of on a whim that I was like, we watch his channel
all the time, every Sunday morning.
Yeah, he posts a video every Sunday morning, so we religiously watch it. He's just a
great person,
great sweetheart of a guy, and he's always doing some type of DIY project, whether it's excavation work or working on his truck or something like that. And it's like, he's our kind of people, you know. That's like what I do. If I'm not in the shop, I'm out in my excavator or bulldozer. So I see this 79 Bronco in the background all the time in his videos, and he's mentioned about it before, and I'm like, man, he needs to do something with that thing. It's just sitting there, you know? So one night we're hanging out on the couch, and I'm like, I think I'm going to email Neil.
Yeah.
Like, what do I got to lose?
All I can do is say no, you know, and you don't try.
I sent him an email, explained who we are, what we do, and I was like, if you ever need anything, just reach out. Even if it's just a question when you decide to start working on it, or if it's something you think you'd like to have us do for you. And a few weeks went by, and, you know, life goes on. I figure, he probably gets thousands of emails. He never even saw it. And no big deal. We're doing our thing. And all of a sudden I get an email one night, like 9 o'clock at night, and he's like,
Neil emailed me.
Yeah. I'm like, I got an email from Neil. He gave me his phone number, said to call him. So I called him, and we kind of sparked it off, had a nice conversation, and now we're restoring his Bronco for him.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I was like, I travel all the time. We're always out moving a car, doing something. I'm like, I'll come pick it up for you. I don't mind, you know. So I think that sold it for him. He's like, man, this guy's going to come get it. I don't have to trailer it to him.
Yeah, I'll wait.
So when we got out to his place in Indiana, he wanted to film a little something about us picking it up, and I'm like, man, I'm not the guy to be on TV. Like,
I always take pictures of him and, like, you know, videos and stuff. I don't talk. We don't do the selfie thing or anything. But, you know, and he's like, oh, you know, stop. That's good. Whatever. You know? So we didn't go into doing that for Neil to do a YouTube page.
No, we had zero interest in being on YouTube.
No, we're not going to do it. And then people always said that we should because we just have so much going on.
Yeah.
But then, Neil.
So when we were there, Neil's like, like, you'd be crazy not to start a YouTube channel while you're doing this. Like, you're going to gain subscribers from me because they're going to want to see what's going on. So we're like, yeah, I don't know, So we get home. Like a week later, he posts that video, and like all the comments are, "Start a YouTube channel. We want to know more about you.
You better start one."
Yeah, so
very positive.
Everyone's very nice and positive.
Very nice, and that's how that's who Neil is. Because
his
he
audience,
has his YouTube family, but his audience, they're just very kind.
Yeah,
so far.
So far. So that's he actually sent us home with a camera.
Yeah, he had everything all set up.
And he's like,
"Here you go.
Film.
Yeah.
Film stuff."
And it was initially just for him to have some footage.
He's like, use it if you want. I'll take the footage, when you're done. Like we kind of planned out a timeline of the Bronco restoration. Yeah. So the whole thing was like, I pick it up. It's just the rolling chassis. He pulled the body off. So I pick up the chassis, bring it to Vermont. I get it stripped down, sandblasted, and painted. He comes up to Vermont, helps me make it a roller. Now, on our way home from Kissimmee, I'm going to have an empty trailer because the Impala's going no reserve. It's going to sell.
She's leaving.
Yeah. So I was like, Neil, I'll just come on our way home and pick the body up. So we're going to bring the body home. I'll get that blasted, body worked, ready, painted and ready to put back on the chassis. So he's going to take a trip back up to Vermont to do that with us.
Yeah.
So the whole plan was like, his channel's Dig Drive DIY. He's like, I want to be involved. Yeah. So it's like, I'm just by myself in the shop. Yeah. You come up whenever you want, So it's kind of cool. We're working together on it. And we get to film it and document it. And
it was a lot of fun having him up too.
Oh, it was a blast. Yeah.
But we enjoy it. The editing, I'll do a lot of it, and then we'll sit down together, edit it together.
Do the final cut together.
Yeah, and then put it out there. But we both enjoy it. And you're doing a good job recording.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll set up all the cameras, and he's talking into the camera just like he would normally. He says that, but I think people just think you're lying because you are doing very good.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's definitely a dynamic change because like you're working on something and let me set this up over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, this is a good spot. Let me say something about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's funny how your mindset changes. It went from like, I'm just working all day to now it's like, oh, this might be interesting to film.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that's a cool angle if I put a camera right there while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I never thought of that before. So, And I will say too, for, Elizabeth to go from running the shop with 6 to 8 employees at any given time and 24 customers coming through the door to now we're in rural Vermont. Like, if the FedEx guy doesn't come up the driveway, we don't see people.
Like, I made him cookies, and I gave them to him. They're very nice. You get to know these people. So.
Yeah.
She's helping where she can in the shop, but, certain steps along the way, there's not much she can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Neil's Bronco, there hasn't been much.
Not
but
yet.
Like your truck, I did a lot on, so it just depends.
So the whole YouTube thing has provided this, for her to do the editing, and she's really taken a liking to it.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot, but I always like taking pictures, like I said, in videos and stuff, so it complements each other, obviously. But the editing process, I did not realize what goes into it. I was, I looked at the program, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So there, I'm Googling, I'm YouTubing everything to learn, and it took some time, and
you could YouTube how to be a YouTuber.
That's not what I did.
That's real.
That is not what I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, because when we got back, Neil put that video out, and then everyone's saying, you should do it, you should do it. So we did a quick little something on our phones, and then from that, everyone's like, you need microphones. Your audio sucks, So okay, I know this is just.
Yeah, we know. We literally made this in like 10 minutes just.
It was like 3 minutes long.
Something,
And then the next video, a little bit better. Our shop tour.
Yep, shop tour video.
So we did that, and then I'm like, okay, well, now I know how to edit things out. And so I just learned it. But every one we're doing is getting better.
The power of collaborating with someone. Our second video ever on YouTube has 93,000 views.
That's cool. That's
it's like,
awesome.
what the heck? Like,
yeah.
That many people wanted to see that, and I'm sure that's nothing to people that do YouTube, but to us,
anything is
That's
something.
pretty wild, you know?
And that's what we went into it, like, let's have fun with it, you know? So I think having that perspective on it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And we hope that's how it comes across, is just, we're just documenting what we're doing regardless.
Yeah.
We're not out there acting or being fake. Like, this is what we do, you know?
That's a sense that I think is real, that people know it, is like, if your main goal in this is like, we'll have fun with this, and like, you know, the audio sucked at first, right? And then you transition into that, and then people like, they're following along with that, and they're enjoying the ride. But at the end of the day, if that main goal is like, I'm doing this because I enjoy it, not because I want to be the best automotive YouTube person in the world, and like that's not to say that that might not be a bad goal. But if you don't have the backing of being an automotive person to begin with, and you're just going to jump into being the best automotive YouTube person, eventually, like, especially people who are in the know, they'll see right through it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They'll see that it's like a facade.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. And so, like, I think people sense that. And I think that we're going to start seeing more of a, like, transition into original content from people who are more authentic.
Right.
Than all this clickbait stuff that, like, even for Connie and I, it's been, you know, tough to keep up with that stuff because we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really favor any of that.
Right.
Yeah, the people are like, well, you need to do this and that. It's easy way to get, you know, subscribers. Like, no, that's not what we're about. We're not gonna. We're not going to.
We don't ever do things the easy way.
No, let's do it the real way, the hard way.
Yeah, but like everything, the whole story of what you guys have, like you've been in the industry, right? And moments when you guys weren't together, you have a core from your childhood. You became, you know, you were part of the picture, and then you got so involved. You are an industry person, right? And so, like, because you have all of that there, and you're Ford people, you like the trucks. I mean, we pulled the Ford out of here, you know. But there's a little piece of it there. But like, there's so many tangible things that when people watch the content, they're gonna see it, they're gonna feel it, that it is real. You are interested in the thing that you're doing. There's a difference between someone who's pretending and someone who's actually into it.
Right.
And the person who's pretending will never be able to get that exact same feeling that you're going to be able to create from what you guys are going to do.
This is just in my blood. You're not going to change it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that comes across.
Well, people have said it, you know, like I said, it's all positive, and they're like, oh, yeah, you know what you're doing, this and that, because they don't know him from anything, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So no, we definitely see that people see it, and we do the bloopers at the end because I don't know what happens to me in front of a camera. I'm getting better.
You are.
But I don't know. Everything I say is like a question at the end and whatever. But yeah, it's getting better. So the camera is a lot to get used to.
Yeah.
The editing and things. Okay, no one's watching me. Yeah. You know, I can do it. But talking in front of that, you just get with time, like anything. So
yeah, will just be another aspect of like getting to know yourselves and like how maybe other people view you and all that stuff.
Yep.
So that's a cool. It's gonna be really cool to see that continue to grow and like what it eventually turns into.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I hope so.
Keep going.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get burnt out and we have fun doing it, we're gonna keep doing it.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's a really big goal. I mean, for me in the podcast, like it's like I do this because I have fun doing it, and hopefully that turns into something that works even better for us.
Yep.
You know.
Well, and more people need to figure that out in life. I was so blessed to learn that early on, that if you can do what you have to do, not just what you want to do, but you physically can't not do this in life.
Yeah.
Then you're never going to work a day in your life.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll do this whether I'm rich or poor. I can't not do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's your perspective of what you're seeing. I mean, all of this, we sprung this up last minute.
Yeah.
Right? We both took the call. I've said this before in the podcast, is answering the call for adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You guys, messaged me. You said you were going to be in the area. You'd love to stop by. And it was like, Connie and I, it was our first thought, was like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's see if it's even possible for them to stay with us and do this full experience that we're trying to do for the podcast. Or not trying, we are doing it.
You are doing it.
We did it.
And
the Miguel Perez experience.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, like, when that moment happens, how many times in your life has like something like that happened and you didn't answer it?
Yeah.
To be honest, for us, not a lot.
Not a lot, see?
And I think that's why we got to where we are.
Yes, yeah.
Because
the worst thing's going to be it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then you got to go back to where you were.
So many people are afraid to fail.
Yeah.
It's not about failing. It's about what you do after you fail.
Yeah.
Do you take a lesson from that and move on with your life? Or do you just stay down in the dumps because it didn't work out?
Yeah.
And if
Try
it. Yeah, if you do that, you're never going to get anywhere. You're not going to go further. So, yeah, you might fail and then you go back, but then you could do better next time.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised the opportunities that come from a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you shut it off, you don't know what you might have missed.
Right.
And like I've gotten better at like seeing those not seeing them, but seeing when an opportunity comes up and going, okay, it might take every little last bit of me to squeeze that in, but like let's put it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to make time for this. We have to do it.
And then there's trickle effects, and there's other things that just happen that you have no idea it's going to happen afterwards.
Right.
That's why I say to him, you never know where are we going to be?
Right.
What are we going to do? You don't know. You can't control it.
Yep.
So you just got to go.
Just got to roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's why we made it a point to go to SEMA every year. Was it the most convenient time? Not usually. That was our busiest month at the shop.
Yeah.
But what you get out of it is worth making that time and going out there.
Yeah.
Meeting you.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here today.
Exactly.
How
many years later?
Yeah, 10 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you were even telling me how, you had asked me, I don't know if it was 2016, 2017, about chassis and stuff. And when I talked to you about Roadster Shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, like, you just told me that was where you started, going that route.
I had heard of them. I knew they existed. And you and I were just conversing at SEMA, and I'm like, I have to buy a chassis while I'm here for a customer.
Yeah.
And do you have any input? And you're like, yeah, honestly, like I think Roadster Shop's probably the best out there right now. And we had used a couple others, and that's why I was asking, because I wasn't overly impressed with what we had used. And it's like, all right, is this what's out there for chassis, or is there something better?
Yeah.
And I had went from you straight to their booth. I feel like I talked to Josh. I don't even know if they had a salesman there at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I can't remember. But we ordered it right there at SEMA.
Yeah.
I spec'd it out how I wanted, told him what we needed, and I wrote him I handed him a check
awesome.
there at the show.
Yeah, that's
Old
so
school.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But and I mean,
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Like, none of that. You know, I'm just like,
and there's the connection.
Used it before and,
Yep.
It was like, it's a no-brainer. Like you said, what's out there, and you see what was out there was like options that were like they're there, but they're lacking a lot of things, and even then to now, not that this is definitely not a Roadster Shop advertisement. It's just like they make a good product
and make it clear.
Like,
Josh, we're not going to name names. I know you like to pull that one. Tell me who that chassis manufacturer was.
Yeah.
No.
And why do they suck so bad?
Yeah.
You know.
But like, it's just another example of like you just don't know. I think on the SEMA decompress one we had done, there was another example like that of like someone was telling me a story of something that happened to them while we were at our party, and it was like, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that, like, you know, we're not the cause of that, you know, that exactly why it happened, but we facilitated where it happened. And it's like, well, you just don't know when those things are going to happen like that.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like, I really enjoy, like, you know, seeing those things happen.
Yeah.
And, like, if you continue going down a good path and you put what's right ahead of everything, you'll meet somebody who's like, you know, you told me about that thing 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Look what happened from that.
How about just hanging out with Tim and Ginger with the tape caddy and the tape thing?
Oh, yeah.
We spent like half a day in their booth one day just
Tape
hanging
challenge.
out with them, doing the tape challenge.
Yep.
People were coming up to me asking about it. I'm telling them about their product.
Yeah.
Tim comes over. He's like, "What do you don't have to do that." I'm like, "Why? I believe in it. It's a great product. I want to see these people end up with it, you know?"
Yeah.
Like,
You're not just saying
you just
it to say
kind
it.
of make those relationships with people. It's great, you know?
Yeah, they were great people. I remember they would do all the tape challenges
Yep.
that you're saying. And like, they kept doing it for a few years, I think.
We did it like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I did it one year.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
did it once.
okay, I'll
Yep.
try.
Yeah, they've been a big supporter for a really long time, too.
Yeah.
So we're, again, it's just, you don't know what the trickle effect's going to be.
Nope.
Yeah.
And like, and it's not to look for that. You definitely don't look for that. Like,
No.
that's, your intention is like, I'm going to have a goal. I'm going to do the best that I can, and I'm going to be the best around the people that I'm going to be with. And you'll start seeing the fruits of that.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you should underestimate, because you'll be surprised how many things in the background change your life.
Yeah.
And
100%.
that's really cool right there.
Yeah.
So
You think of all those little guiding paths over the years and how you got to where you were. And that's why you just got to, like you said, when opportunity knocks, open the door.
There's a reason for everything.
Yeah. I think this is a good way to end the podcast.
Sure.
So put it on a good note.
Yeah.
But guys, it was awesome. Connie and I are so happy to have you guys here for the weekend.
Oh, we appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
Like I said,
Feels like we've done this before.
Yeah. I mean, we just reached out because we wanted to say hi to you guys and see you while we're in the area.
Yeah.
And we weren't expecting this, so it's awesome.
Yeah, have us in,
and
had us in our
taking
home.
us out on the kayaks was an absolute blast.
It is a magical place.
No, we enjoy, like, having people to connect to, and like, hopefully you walk out of here feeling like you've known us for years. And that's what we want. We want a connection with the people that we're having a podcast with, because we take it seriously.
Yeah,
it's our you guys are our peers, you're our friends, like, and like these conversations, we've touched on a lot of stuff about your guys' past, and a lot of people are going to relate to that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like in a moment in their life where they might make that decision that veers them off in a bad way, and one thing from this might help them.
Yeah, it's true.
And these podcasts can go on for way longer and all that stuff,
I think this was perfect.
Yeah.
Well, whenever we do a part 2, then we'll go on to the next set of things,
Who knows where we'll be by then?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we'll come visit you guys.
Yeah.
In your place.
Yeah.
Do you even have winter clothing?
Yes, but it's probably not updated.
Yeah,
we'll have them in August.
Yes. We'll have you in August.
Well, hey, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And where can people find you on Instagram?
It's all North Country Restorations. Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah.
We post as much as we can out there, what we're doing, what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah. And do you guys think that you may do like a branding change or anything like that? Like,
that's been the talk. We're thinking about it, because it is a mouthful.
Yeah.
So we have an idea in mind for a good name for the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we do want it to be more than just, the shop. We're traveling a lot and doing other things with the automotive industry. So I feel like that could be its own name.
For sure.
So something might be changing in the future.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you're listening, watching, go ahead and find out where they're at on Instagram. Check them out on YouTube, and definitely a good one to follow. So.
Yeah, appreciate
it,
it,
guys. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we got another episode down. Hey, thanks for listening to the Automotive Artistry. My name's Miguel, and let me tell you something about this podcast. First off, I'm really into this industry. I love all the aspects from metalwork, TIG welding, body work, paint work. I do this stuff myself for a living. I've been doing it for 23 plus years, at least at this moment. And this is stuff that I do every day. I'm really into it. And it's something that I think if you're listening to this, you probably are too. Maybe a couple aspects, maybe a lot of the same aspects that I'm into, but it really doesn't matter to me, whether it's lowrider graphics on custom paintwork down to metal-shaped parts, fabricated, custom panels, all like it really doesn't matter. That stuff really interests me. So the people that I have on this podcast, that's what they do. So some of them might cover certain aspects, but either way, every episode is going to be a little bit different. So, but I'm also very interested in the people behind the work that we do. So I really want you to get the perspective of what it takes to be someone who's been 20, 30 plus years in the industry and to be as successful as some of the people that are on the podcast. And throughout the success that they have, you're going to hear the stories of struggle. You're going to hear there's so much stuff between every single person. So even though you see someone, maybe it's someone who's been on the TV, maybe someone that you see that's got, just real popular on Instagram or whatever it is, you're going to see that this person's really a person and that they go through their struggles and that it's taken X amount of time for them to get to where they are today. And it doesn't have to be somebody who's really, 20 plus years in the industry. I've had guests on here who are 5 years, and you hear their story and how they're going along. So that's really the point of the podcast. I really want people to get to understand some of these aspects, and even down to we get pretty technical sometimes. My podcast is not about being ultra technical every single time, but I want it to be very relatable to the people that are watching and listening. Look, if you want to support the podcast, there's a couple ways that right now that we have. You can check out aworkingclass.bigcartel.com, and you can find some of our merchandise on there. Right now, it's some products from our old branding, but either way, any of that helps. Doing this podcast, building a studio, it takes a lot. So if you want to help support, check out our website. And the other thing that helps out a lot, if this episode spoke out to you, if you could share it, that makes such a big difference. Look, I'm not trying to make clickbait titles or anything. I'm trying to bring real world experience down from the automotive side. So by doing that, sometimes it gets a little hard for me to even advertise. I actually hate advertising, but I got to do it anyways. So what I really want to be able to do is share these podcasts in a way that's very genuine, and it really seems like it's hard to do that on these platforms. So again, if you want to share, an episode that spoke to you, that helps tremendously. So anyways, listen, thanks for listening. I say that a lot, but I really do mean it because our automotive industry is something that it's growing, it's getting better, the technology is getting better, the people are getting better, the information that's out there is getting better, and I'm just trying to help some of that flow through a little bit easier. So thank you for your interest in the Automotive Artistry Podcast.